Welcome to Richer Within with me, Kathryn. Activate your inner wealth of wisdom. What if the answers you seek are already inside you? On this podcast, I, along with Dr. Pat, explore what it means to truly rely on your inner guidance, moving beyond the noise of external influences to reconnect with your unique magnificence. Each episode offers compelling real-life stories and practical tools to help you shift from overwhelm to clarity. Discover how to activate your inner wealth of wisdom, your wow, and harness the universal creative process to shape a life even beyond your imagination. Ready to embrace liberating responsibility for your life, own your worth, and trust your inner guidance? Then you're in the right place at the right time. Let's dive in. Your transformation starts now.
Amazing. OMG. No, WOW. Wow. I'm Dr. Pat, and I get to take this glorious, beautiful ride of life with Kathryn Richer. You heard a little bit about her today. This is an important show, and it's so exciting, Kathryn, for us to be here now. It really is. It is. People don't realize what goes into activating somebody's dream and vision. And most of it has to do with, if nothing at all, it has to do with not only what's in your heart, but also what's in your soul. And I want to ask you this. Here we are today, we're talking about wow. And I want people to have a sense before we even get going is what does wow mean? Now, wait a minute. You just had a big birthday. You had the
I did.
birthday. Was it a wow birthday? And so tell me about the wow for the birthday.
It was such a wow, Dr. Pat, and I'm so delighted to be here. Thank you. It's a birthday present for me beyond my imagination. And the wow was I woke up alive and the earth had turned around again to face the sun that is still shining and everything is in place and I didn't have to lift a finger to do any of it. And you know what I tell people when they ask me on my birthday how old I am? I say I'm 13.8 billion years and a day or so. And that's true because everything began in the same time, in the same place, in the same space, and expanded into everything that evolved into everything that we see, every speck from one source. And so that means me. And that's what a wow to start any day or any moment with. Wow, there's only one me, there's only one you. And our one calling here is to express and know intimately our unique, magnificent selves. And that's a wow.
Yeah. I love this conversation because we get to, billions of years, but here's what I love about it is that we have science now catching up to, I don't even want to call it a timeline, but I read an article over the weekend where somebody said there's no such thing as time. So I love that article, and I'm not going to go into it today, but it didn't have to say more than that to me because what they were saying is what you're saying right now. You see, we make time our master. And I love that answer. And I'm going to borrow that answer from you the next time somebody asks me because that's somebody asked me over the weekend. But let's talk about this wow factor and what wow means for each of us when we're touching it up against our purpose. What is the relationship here? Can you talk to wow and what does it mean to live from that place?
Hmm. The wow is in the now. And so every moment is an opportunity to find something to be, it's really a form of gratitude.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a wow, I have this beautiful life. Wow, there are people who I know who love me. Wow, even in the midst of challenging times, when we find something simple to be grateful for, and actually there's nothing small to be grateful for because everything is part of everything, so nothing is small. So any wow contributes to the greater wow. And then life responds in, oh, you like that? Well, how about this wow? Well, how about this wow? Let's try this wow. And things open in such a beautiful way. And so that's the importance of living in the now and noticing what is happening within me now. I could be in a wow, or for you, Dr. Pat, I know you like to say Yahoo, which I love. It reminds me, ooh, cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. Um, but being in the now, sometimes we might not feel so great. And that's an opportunity to go within the inner wealth of wisdom, which is the other wow. Then they're connected. Yeah, the wealth of wisdom to look at where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Ah, my tummy's clenched, my hands are clenched, my brow is furrowed. Oh, well, what am I thinking? Oh, I'm holding on to something somebody said to me this morning. Does that serve me? Can I let that go and step into a
Mhm.
wow that is a magnet for more good?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get back to what you said. I don't want people to not hear this again. Wow has meaning, wealth of wisdom, right? That phrase, I want to talk to a minute because you said something, wow now. And what I love about that is it is a total different energy. You know, one of the first shows I did was in way back, and I went to a remote conference way back in the day. And I got to interview Ram Dass. And when I interviewed Ram, it was the funniest interview on the planet. It really was. But I was so new to be here now because nobody talked about the wow in the now. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so everybody went and tried to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just Ram. He's like was a great guy. But when the book came out, the Eckhart Tolle book, people thought meditation was the way to go. But somehow you're letting us know that wow now is about wisdom, knowledge, activation, stepping into our own power. So let's get down to it. What's so special about the wisdom? Now, this is so important because nobody's really covering this. But wisdom is important. Let's talk about it, please.
Mm-hmm. So inner wisdom is a beautiful gift that we have because it helps reduce reliance on external sources. There's so much coming at us all the time. Information. We're taking all of this in. Sometimes we get information constipation, right? Then we just don't know what to do with it. And there's social media, there's so much going on. And when we rely primarily first on our inner wisdom, that's embracing responsibility that's liberating because we're no longer seeking an answer outside of ourselves. And that opens us to even richer life than we had imagined. So this inner wealth of wisdom is a personal guide. It's like your personal guide. It's your navigation system for your own evolutionary journey. And think of it as your North Star for us in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the North Star. And the thing is, Dr. Pat, that never goes offline. Connection is never ever lost except for when we forget to remain connected to that inner wealth of wisdom.
I want to talk about that one point for a minute because that is, I think, has been the most difficult part for my life's journey is what you're remembering. Now, I have to tell you what happened to me moving to Seattle. See, I think the universe sets us up for an amazing life. See, I never thought I'd come to Seattle and be introduced to new spiritual practices and ideas. And you're going to share one today in the show at the end.
Mhm.
But I was introduced into a whole new way of looking at the world and how to be. how to be and affirm who I am, how to understand that we're able to say, I am healthy, I am wealthy, the power of the I am. And that's what you're talking about right now. But there's an ancient wisdom that's part of this that I'd love for you to talk about because wealth, what is that? We mean wealth like go to the bank. No, that's not what we're saying. Let's get down to the root of wealth, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
What does it really mean? And what did it mean thousands of years ago?
I love that question because it is critical and wealth can be perceived as a negative thing. And the ancient meaning was well-being. Wealth meant well-being. And so living from this inner wealth of wisdom aligns us with that well-being and that all of life in this cosmically, wonderfully entangled web of life is that richness of living. It is all there, it is all here. And so, in this context, it's about the abundance and the richness of life and everything that is already available to us as we allow, as we affirm, like you're referring to, Dr. Pat, as we declare, as we claim it to be so. And so it is.
You know what I love about this is when we dig deeper into things, we're talking about well-being, well-being, well-being living. Because why am I bringing it up? You could have every dollar on the face of the earth. Literally, I don't even know what that amount is. But if you had every dollar on the face of the earth, you may think I'm in the zone now until something goes awry. Like what? Like some aspect of your well being. So let's talk about how this cosmically wonderful, beautiful spider is one of my totems. So anything that time I can talk about a web with you, we're going to be happy. But let's talk about how this is, how it changes, and why it's not a one size fits all. This idea of wow, well being, wealth. We think mine is going to be the same as yours. And I bet it's not, right? Go ahead.
Mhm. Of course it's not, because we are unique beings. And I like to spell unique Younique. And so it looks different to everyone. And so their approach looks different. Their practices look different. Their inner wealth of wisdom may look different. Some people have really, really strong intuition. Some people have a deep body sense of things. Some people have see auras, they see energy. There's many, many ways for wisdom to inform. And that's the beauty of it being it really is personal because it speaks to us in a way that we understand, that we perceive, and then we can move forward with that.
I love this. I was watching over the weekend while you were enjoying a fabulous birthday. We don't have time to get into what kind of food there was, but maybe we talk about that later a little bit. But over the weekend, I always prepare. So I have you in my brain, right? Because I know you and I have done a lot together and we're going to do more together. But I had this idea. And over the weekend, I was watching someone communicate to somebody whose English was not very good. And I watched this because this one guy was coaching both Linda, who all of a sudden now is playing ping pong for hours, table tennis, and this other woman. So Linda and she were side by side, and I watched the level of respect. I want to talk about this, and maybe you can help interpret what I'm saying. But there's an energy. And here's Linda, and this two Lindas, one China, Linda, Jersey. And I watched these two navigate these waters as if there was no language difference.
Mm.
No language difference.
Mhm.
And I watched the coach work with them. And the reason I'm bringing that up as an example, because it leads to the following: context, wealth, information, and manifestation all come to play in what you do. Wow, the way you're talking about it, Kathryn, it is the accumulation and the culmination of every aspect, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how we can move ahead with this knowledge now. But how do we take this and actually activate it? How do we look at this variation in auras and energy, but then bring forth this practices that can help push the wow button now?
Mm-hmm. So we'll start with a wow now, because it is really, I can't emphasize enough, the moment to moment awareness. And that's what your friend was experiencing in that interaction. She was completely present. And so when we're completely present, we have conscious presence. There's no barriers. And in those moments of wow, now, recognizing what is happening internally for me now. Because the thing is that, and I like to think of wisdom as an acronym, and we're going to go through the W today, and the other episodes will be the I, the S, and the DOM. And so the W for today is about weepy, which represents our emotions. So when we tap into our emotions, emotions are really a combination of feeling and thought. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? And that becomes, think of emotion as energy in motion. And the co-creative thing is this the kind of energy I want to put out? Because what I put out returns to me. If I'm a cranky pants in the morning and I'm going out in the day like that, what am I going to get back from people? Right?
Oh my
I'm going to,
God. You must
it's,
have been
it's,
here at my house yesterday.
it's that simple. And that's the beauty of it is that it's deeply personal and yet it's universal. It applies to everybody. And so in those moments of recognition, I like to call it when we recognize a stinky. And like you burn it, like you start to smell a pancake burning, what do? You flip it. So if I'm feeling anxious, I acknowledge that. It's not about bypassing, it's acknowledging it, allowing that to flow through, and flipping it. You can do a quick affirmation statement. I am at ease right now. Everything is working together for my good. Those quote unquote simple affirmative statements literally rewire your neural pathways. And the more you practice it, it's like lifting weights, it's like a muscle. And the more we practice this, we transform our emotions through the wow practice to lift our vibration.
Before we get too far ahead, I want to make sure people, this is the first of many shows, but I still want people to know what we're talking about today is part of a fabulous coaching platform you have, the work you do in the world, whether it's individuals, entrepreneurs, business people, it doesn't matter. How will people find out about you? How can they, one, follow you, find out what you're up to, but also work with you, Kathryn? What is the best way for them to do that?
Thank you for asking that. Remember my name. My last name is Richer, and my professional, my blissness, I don't call it a business, I call it my blissness, is richer within. So you can find me at richerwithin.com. I'm on Instagram, and I would love to be able to assist
Mm-hmm.
people in tapping into their inner wealth of wisdom and living a life beyond their imagination. It works. I could tell you a million stories about my own life and people that I've had the pleasure and the honor of working with, and how impactful this practice is and how accessible it is for anyone.
Yeah. I love you're talking about this about flipping it. I want to talk about energy, but before I do that, in about 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to do something very special to help us shift whatever we have, change energy. But yesterday was one of those days. There was a couple of things yesterday, and so I just decided to go water the lawn. I went out to water the plants, water the lawn. Why? Why was that important? Well, emotions. let's talk about that because what you're about to share with us is going to help us do more than navigate. But that was a flip for me,
Hmm.
right? It was water the plants. Let's talk about this in terms of what you're going to be sharing in a few minutes and what this special, special practice is that's going to help us flip and turn around.
The practice is called a spiritual mind treatment. And as a licensed spiritual practitioner, I'm specifically trained in this. It's extremely powerful. It's also simple to learn if anyone wants to. And it is about acknowledging exactly what I talked about at the beginning. There's one thing going on. I am an aspect of that. I am an embodiment of that. And then it's about claiming what we desire, affirming what we desire and what we know to be true. And sometimes, like in your case, you go neutral, right? Sometimes it's a leap to get into a more feel-good place. And if that's the case, you simply go neutral, water the lawn, make a meal, wash the dishes, breathe. And yet this treatment is kind of a funny word, a spiritual mind treatment. I like to
Yeah,
think of it as a spa treatment, right? We go to the
yes.
spa and we receive, facials or we get massages and we get everything. This I like to think of as a spa for your spirit, for your soul. And the thing is that I affirm the truth and I release it into that place that always says yes. And these are universal laws. It's like the law of gravity, like we were talking about when being a grumpy pants or being super happy. People respond often with, wow, really looking in someone's eyes. The universe reflects to us.
Hmm.
And so the more one is able to receive this, it's simply about receiving and allowing it to permeate your consciousness, then the more effective it is.
Yeah. And the reason I ask you about that is it has twofold. And we're going to talk much more about this. But we went through a period with, let's call it a movement that happened over a decade ago, but it was about manifestation.
Mhm.
And the one really important thing that was left out of the conversation was energy and emotion. And what you're about to do with the spiritual mind treatment in about 30 seconds is there's an energy. You see, manifestation is a beautiful energy. Catherine Ponder said it best for me. When I was first doing this, I was depressed. Somebody handed me a book, and I thought this was the quirkiest, weirdest, cheesiest book on the planet until it worked. Simplicity, but highly energized.
Yes,
So today, you're going to help us shift emotionally, which is a key element to manifestation.
yes.
You ready?
I am ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So
Let's go.
let's do this. I just invite everyone who is in a safe place to gently close your eyes and be aware of the now. Deep breath in, let it go. We center ourselves, we ground ourselves in the now, in this now moment where I know that there is only one thing. There is one power. There is one presence. There is one infinite intelligence back of everything, all of the time. It is the power that crashes the waves and bursts the stars and sings the whales. It is the presence that is always within us. It is all around us. It is the life force itself. It is the energy, the wave, the light. It is indestructible. It simply changes form. And it is that universal intelligence, that perfect pattern of all of life. It is that sets the planets in their courses, the perfect pattern of the blooming flower. It is all that there is. And this one thing loves and revels in expressing itself through every aspect of its beloved creation, from the tiniest, tiniest of known particles to the furthest reaches of the furthest galaxies and everything in between. Our own Milky Way galaxy, our beautiful solar system, our life-giving sun, our Earth, and everything upon and within it. And me. I know this means me. I am an individualized and unique expression of life itself. And as this is the truth of who I am, I know with every fiber of my being that it is the truth of everyone within the sound of my voice. Everyone is a beautiful, whole, complete, unique, and magnificent expression of that very same power, presence, and wisdom that is all of life. They are embodiments of this. They are a one-time around way for the universe to experience and express itself, for the cosmos to know itself. This is who they are. They are stars wrapped in skin. And so knowing this to be the truth of who they are, I speak my word for and about everyone. And I call forth a willingness and a joy in wow, in living in the wow, in that wow, what a beautiful thing this life is. Everything before me is a wow, in living in that gratitude. And if they're not quite in that place, that they recognize they have the compassion to go within, tap into their inner wealth of wisdom, explore their emotion, and shift that energy. And I claim that power that they already have and that they already are to do this again and again until it becomes a life practice and truly their life is transformed. They see changes around them, within them. They feel richer. They feel more abundant. They feel more joy, more love, and more than they had imagined. I am so grateful to know that this is the truth. This is the way it works. And in gratitude beyond knowing, I release this word into the cosmic womb of infinite potential, that place of unconditional love that always, always says, yes, my beloved, and you are my beloved. It is my joy to give that unto you, which is your heart's desire. For yours and mine are one and the same, for we are one. I simply let this be, and I allow it to be, and we welcome it to be by saying together, and so it is. So it is.
Wow. Kathryn, thank you so very, very much. What a great start to the universe. So, wow. Thank you so much. Okay, before we go, please again tell folks how they can connect with you.
richerwithin.com. Connect me also on Instagram. And please carry this beautiful vibration with you if you are feeling this, and know that you are richer within. Namaste.
Thank you all for tuning us in. Much more to come. We got the W done today, but wouldn't you know what the rest really means? Get ready to manifest, get ready to fulfill the amazing life you have with that wow now. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for investing in yourself by listening to Richer Within with me, Kathryn, and Dr. Pat. Continue this journey with us every third Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Feeling inspired? Visit richerwithin.com to explore one-on-one sessions speaking engagements, and supportive services with me. Together, let's co-create a world that uplifts everyone through deeper living and conscious presence. Until next time, and always, align with your inner wealth of wisdom. Wow.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.